The science of soul writing, the effects on mental health, the brain, study skills, and spirituality. Research by Jenna Connor, and this presentation is by Bibi Bacchus. The inspiration for this book was Writing Down Your Soul by Jenna Connor. Jenna Connor's biography. Born on June 16, 1948, in Chicago to a mother named Lorraine, with her third child and 5 years after the war. From Marshfield, Wisconsin, studies education of the deaf of Northern University, studies speech pathology at Macquarie University, worked at CNN 1993 as a training consultant. Went to Columbia High School, raised as a Catholic, but converted to Unitarianism. Son named Jerry and a brother named Larry. Created spiritual geography. Works for Unity FM, Soul Directed Life. Lives in Ozone, Florida, in the Gulf of Mexico. The thesis statement for this presentation is the art of soul writing is a free process, also known as stream of consciousness. This was first used by Alexander Baines in 1855. Encourage regular reflective discipline that assists one in being mentally stable. 1 in 5 Canadians suffer from mental illness, which equals to 4.5 million a year. Today I'll be covering what is soul writing, why does soul writing things down help you remember things better. Theta brainwaves, 30-day habit, 12 habits of writing, facts about writing, study skills in GPA, and writing off illness. The Artist Way by Jenna Cameron. This book was influenced by Julia Cameron. Anyone who writes morning pages will be led to connection with the source within. When I'm stuck on a painful situation or problem and I don't know how to handle it, I would go to the pages for guidance. This was written by Jenna Connor on Wednesday, April 23rd, 1997. And the book is The Artist's Way by Julia. Okay, what is soul writing? Soul writing is sacred writing space. You ask questions, you put the date. Works best when you write fast, no judging, evaluating, or editing on the page. Guidance that improves your life, also known as stream of consciousness or free writing. Writing the same for 30 days enables you to enter the theta brainwave state and reach mystical theta. Create and maintain new neurological. Why does writing things down help us remember things better? When you are writing things down with a pen and paper, you are stimulating a collection of cells in the base of the brain known as reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is a filter for all the information your brain needs to process and what gives you your attention and what you put your focus on. And it's this icon and it's this symbol right here. In other words, the physical act of writing brings the information in the forefront and triggers your brain to pay attention. Here are the 4 brain waves. Beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Beta is when you stress and worry a lot and you stress out about things, and it relates to depression. Alpha is when your brain is stimulated, when you get creative flow. Theta is where you solve problems and you get insight and intuition. And delta is when you're in the dream state. Theta brainwave. It starts with beta, drops quickly through the multiple layers of alpha, reaches alpha and mystical theta when you connect to the voice within. It's a subconscious. 30 days of writing. It takes 30 days to create a new pathway. When you decide to write, dedicate 30 days. But if you break the cycle, you have to start all over again. We know this through spec, a pharma biofeedback equipment. Scans and new pathway will recede if you don't maintain them, and then you have to go back and start over the pathway again. 12 habits of a writer. Write every single day. Find a time to write. Do it right. Read. Every writer is a reader first. Keep a notebook handy at all times for the first thought or idea. Have a dictionary and a thesaurus with you at all times. Be absorbent. Turn off the TV, disconnect from the internet, tune out the rest of the world, and sit down and write. Proofread your work 3 times before submitting it. Double check your facts. Read highly successful author. Write, write, write. Forget everything and just write. Facts about writing. Writing can help you retain 72% after 3 hours. After 3 days, you will only retain 10%. Uh, when you write, ask what happened. Number 2, how did I feel when I read about this? And 3, why am I writing this way? Try to divulge 15 minutes a day into your deepest writing. James W. Pennebaker, PhD, Research of Expressive Writing. Pennebaker had 3 groups of college students write for 10 minutes a day for 4 days. The first group was told to write a detailed description of a traumatic experience in their life, but only what happened. The second group was told to write about their feelings, but only about their feelings. The third group received instruction to write about both traumatic and their deepest thoughts and feelings about what happened. The third group experienced lower blood pressure, higher immune function for 6 weeks. After studying, improved mood and better physical health. Not only did the 2 writing groups, the events only made as a result, as the other 2 writing groups, the other 2 felt worse just writing about the traumatic feelings or just writing about the feelings. The result was also triggering Pennebaker to test expressive numerous writing on circumstances. The only constants for students were asked to write for 10 minutes for 4 days. Successive research demonstrates students who wrote in an open and meaningful way developed a positive outlook on life, experienced reduced stress and anxiety, had improved the ability to fight infections with active T cells, and lower heart rate. As a result of that study, students also got better grades. Students who take a university success course have a higher grade point average than their peers and more likely to graduate from a university or college, are more likely to use the resources, communicate with instructors, and generally approach students with a more confident and conviction. Students who relied on a laptop percent showed 1 grade lower, from a B to a B plus. Susan Cougar Winter, she came out with the SOURCE program for study skills. And when she went to college, she went from a C student to a 3.9 GPA average. She works with students with learning disabilities and students that are having trouble with school. It also shows with study skills and writing, a student's GPA goes up by 5%. By 1 GPA. Writing off illness. Joshua Smith, PhD, is a psychologist from North Dakota State University. Smith monitored 12 patients with arthritis or asthma for 20 minutes for 3 days, scribbling in a journal to vent your frustration may make you literally feel better. As a result, anxiety groups experience on paper 50% improvement of their disease after 4 months. 25% of the patients who wrote a neutral topic showed relief after the symptoms. We think about distress in events helps us participate, make sense of the events, and stress reduction. In conclusion, to writing and contemporary spirituality. Soul writing can clear one's head from the clutter or the monkey mind. Writing one's emotions every day can assist in mental stability. Mental illness is a hidden stigma in our modern day society that nobody likes to talk about. Mental stability is significant to one's mental health, so keep writing. Develop a positive habit and of writing every day, and it can affect your life. My objective of this presentation is that you learn one thing, that soul writing and its benefits to is mental health in every area. Soul writing is food for mental health. So when was the last time you checked your mental health? Thank you for this Works Cited page.